everyone, this is Tara Wilson, and I have now been in the network marketing profession for 10 years. And so I wanted to share a couple tips with you that might help you grow your business and have success. One of the most important skills that you could possibly learn in your career is the art of inviting. It doesn't matter how successful you've been in other careers, how much you know about your products, your services, your comp plan, how polished you are at presenting, how great you are at follow-up, how great you are at organization. Nothing in network marketing happens until an invitation is made. And a lot of people don't look at this as a skill. It's probably the most important skill you'll ever learn. And here's why. Until you invite someone to take a look at your product, your service, or your business, nothing happens. Now, a couple things that you need to learn is number one, the invitation process is not the selling forum. Meaning, if you're worried about picking up the phone when you start your network marketing business to call your best friend, then you probably think you might have to sell her. And that's not what the invitation process is about. So even when you're brand new, first day, second day, fifth day, second week, second month, you're actually just calling to say, hey, I started a business and I would love your support. Please show up at this time on a call. Maybe it's Thursday night, maybe come to my living room Thursday night, watch this video, watch this webinar, and all you're doing is simply saying, hey, if I send you a tool, will you watch it? If I invite you to my house, will you come? And you guys should be able to get through, 10, 15 invitations in a single sitting, right? All you're doing is inviting them to take a look. This is what's known as filling your funnel. So when people start on my team, the number one thing I say is number one, make your list. And a good list is 1 to 200 names. And then the second thing to do is start inviting. Now, based on their geography, right? If you have a lot of people close in your network, in your local town, maybe a lot of friends, maybe a lot of family, then have a home party. If you have people all over because you've used social media as a main way to build your business or your network, then have a call, have a webinar, have a Zoom, maybe have a recording that you can send them to. Bottom line is, all you're doing is giving them an invitation to see the information. You're not the tool. You're not the information. You're just the messenger. And this is something that I think a lot of people, when they get into network marketing, they're so exciting. They went to the meeting, they heard all these facts and these figures and this great product or these great features about this amazing service. And all of a sudden they want to call their friends and throw up all over them. And their friend, who's your best friend, like literally last week, you guys were, jogging and happy hour, the movies, dinner, and all of a sudden you feel weird about calling your best friend. That's because you think you got to sell them. You're not to sell them. So I teach my team a rejection-proof script. So this is something you guys might want to write down. So you've got your list, 1 to 200 names. Now I teach them to say, hey, for example, I'm in the wellness industry. Hey, mom, hey, best friend, hey, neighbor, hey, coworker, whatever their name is. Hey, it's Tara. I just started a wellness business. And I am obviously looking to build that business through referrals. I'm looking for customers who want to enjoy my products. I'm looking for business partners. And most importantly, I'm looking for referrals. And we'll talk about that in a second. Hey mom, hey sister, hey, contact. Can you do this? Can you come to a meeting Thursday night, half an hour? We're going to give you some information so that you can be either you can decide whether the product or service is for you, the business is for you, or if neither, maybe you can think of somebody that you might know who would benefit from your product or service. Or can you be on a call on Wednesday night at 10 or 7? Can you watch this video tonight, tomorrow? When can you watch the video? A lot of really great scripts is, hey, if I give you a video, will you watch it? Set a time for them to watch it, set a time to follow up, and follow up. The bottom line is the invitation is just to get people enough interested to say yes to looking at the information and let them off the hook. So I say, this is how it goes from the beginning. Hey, it's Tara. I just started a global wellness business. Hey, I'm looking for customers, obviously great products. I'm looking for business partners, great business model, great timing, but I'm also looking for referrals. Who do you know who might be interested? I'm having a meeting at my house at 7 o'clock. Can you make it? As my mom, I just want your support because when you see the information, it might spark some ideas of who might be a great referral for me. Now, speaking of referrals, I'll tell you that a lot of people in network marketing think they have to sell everyone on their list. Well, number one, this is not a selling business. This is a sorting business. You're looking for people who are looking. So out of every 100 people you call, you'll probably enroll 5 to 10 distributors, and you'll probably enroll somewhere between 20 and 30 customers. That's statistics. If you're a very good product, or if you have a high close, a lot of skill in closing, they might be higher. If you have products that are very unique, maybe no men or no women or no children or young people, they're very small demographic, you might have a lower closing ratio. That's up to you and your company. But bottom line is, I have built my entire legacy on referrals. In fact, let me tell you that 10 years ago, while I was working full-time with 2 small children at the time, I have 3 now, if you probably see their picture in the background there, I was working 40 hours a week, and I got into the industry, and I just started telling people, hey, I'm starting a health business. There's a lot of money to be made in it. Who do you know? That was my entire script, guys. Honestly, like people want to say something fancy or something clever. I just walked around saying, I got an incredible health product. There's some money to be made. People say, what you got? And I'd say, come to this meeting or watch this video or get on this call. And people did. I was just constantly filling the funnel with people I barely knew. Now, here's the magic. In the first 4 months of my very first business, all of my family was already in the company, and I was the last one to say yes. Literally, that's the truth. Some families said no, but all the ones that eventually said yes, I was the very last one. So my family, all gone, right? Meaning off the list. All of my friends, people who were in the room when my children were born, people who were, in my wedding, people who lived next door, people I went out with, birthdays and dinners and happy hour and movies, all said no. How did I go on to do $175 million in this industry in 12 different countries while raising 3 kids? Because in my first 4 months, 3 people were referred to me by people who said no, meaning they didn't join me, but they said, hey, I thought of someone, call them. I called them, I met with them. The rest is history. We put in 9,000 people in my first company in 2 years while raising 2 kids and working half full time. And my first time in the industry, because I kept asking people, who do you know who? So there's a great concept called the corridor principle, and there's a 12-year study of success. And the bottom line is that the results of the study said that there's a difference between people who are successful and unsuccessful. Think of your future business as a tunnel, and you're standing there looking through the tunnel. And most people make a decision whether to even join because they peek into that tunnel to the left and to the right, and they say, oh, well, there's mom. She might order from me. My best friend, they're healthy, if it's a health product, or, if you're selling jewelry, that person loves jewelry. And what you do is you start prejudging your immediate network. And you don't look very far into the tunnel, and you make a decision to either join or not join based on who can you sell of the people you know right now. Well, guys, I have had teams of over 400,000 people. Guess how many people I knew before I built those teams? Of that company, I would say less than 10. One was my brother-in-law, one was my stepbrother, one was my other stepbrother, and then I was sure there's a handful of friends. One is actually sitting in this living room right now, what I went to college with. He was one of those people. But the corridor principle says that even if you can't see down the corridor, that if you're willing to launch down that tunnel anyway, then doors and windows, people, opportunities, leads, referrals will be there even though you can't see them, right? Because if I would have based my entire network marketing career on what I saw in the first 3 months, I wouldn't have made $3.5 million and created 6 other millionaires. This is the difference between someone that has success and someone that doesn't. I said, there are people in my company having success. I will figure it out and I will not stop until. And I launched down that corridor, and within the first 4 months was referred 3 people who helped me earn over almost $500,000 while raising 3 kids in my first network marketing experience. So bottom line is the invitation. Keep asking your network, who do you know who, right? There is no guarantees, but I promise you, if you see people in your company having success, if customers are buying your product, or if customers are buying your services, if distributors are having success, then you can too. You just have to be willing to launch into it and keep inviting people to take a look. I have built organizations, like I said, spanning 12 countries, $175 million in sales, and you know what? I've never cold called or walked up to a stranger in my entire career. In 10 years, I have never cold called because I continue asking people, who do you know? So even if you only know 100 people, and they know 100 people, and they know 100 people, that's 1 million people in just your first 3 levels of your network. If you keep asking who do you know who, you will find the people in those levels, and you will find as many customers as you'll ever need and as many distributors. It only takes about 3 to 5 distributors to go to a multiple 6, or even 7-figure income. A lot of people think it takes thousands. It doesn't. It takes a few really good ones. There's no selling in the inviting process. Get good at just connecting people with the information, your company story, your product or service story, the income story. And if you master this one skill with simple conversations, you will have more leads and more people to work with than you can ever imagine. So get good at inviting, and good luck with your career.